All right, so today we're going to break down a pretty detailed offer for a mission trip to the Bahamas. We're going to look at everything.
So right out of the gate, the source material hits you with this super energetic and direct line. Hey, dreamers and doers. Language like this immediately sets a certain tone, right? It's all about action and excitement. It's not just framing this as a trip, but as a real calling for a specific kind of person.
So, what's the actual proposition here? Let's really get into this initial call to action, because it's a fascinating mix. It's an appeal for service, absolutely, but it's also wrapped up in the undeniable allure of a tropical paradise.
Okay, let's look at the basic details first. The trip is being put on by an organization called Grace International, Inc., and the destination? Nassau, in the Bahamas. It's set up as a 7-day, 6-night trip, and the specific dates are December 13th to the 19th, 2025.
And this right here, this brings us to the core concept they're selling, the chance to trade the cold for Christ-centered action. I mean, that's a powerful pitch, isn't it? It's a dual appeal. You get the purpose-driven work, and you get to escape the cold weather for a beautiful, warm setting.
But what does that Christ-centered action actually mean when you're on the ground? Let's move on and really look at the heart of the mission itself. What are the volunteers actually being asked to do? So the mission is really built on 3 main pillars. First up, you've got construction projects, which means hands-on manual labor, cleanup, that kind of thing. Second, there's community outreach, specifically a vacation Bible school for kids and teens. And third, the evenings are set aside for nightly spiritual revivals.
So the idea here is that there's a 2-part goal. According to the source, these activities are designed to do 2 things at once: achieve some real, tangible community upliftment through the construction work, and also foster spiritual growth, both for the local community and for the volunteers themselves.
Okay, so we know what they'll be doing, but how does all of that get packed into a single week? Let's take a look at the day-by-day itinerary to get a feel for the flow of the whole journey.
This timeline gives us a really clear picture. Day 1 is pretty standard. Arrival, get settled, orientation. Then the service work kicks off on day 2, and it's pretty heavy on the construction and outreach all the way through day 5. But then, on day 6, the whole dynamic shifts to a full reward tour, before wrapping up with a final revival and departure on day 7.
When you look at it this way, you can see this really deliberate structure, dividing the week into 2 very distinct phases. You've got 4 full days that are all about service, the construction, the outreach, and that's put in direct contrast with a full day that's designated as a reward, all about exploration and just kicking back.
And that reward day is a huge part of the whole package. It's not just a little break, it's presented as a full-on excursion. We're talking historical sightseeing at places like the Queen's Staircase in Fort Charlotte, some beach time, and then a big farewell team dinner to close out the trip.
The source material frames this day really intentionally with this one phrase: you've earned it. That language is so important because it reinforces the idea that the fun, the leisure, the exploration, it's not just part of the trip. It's a well-deserved break that comes after all the hard work.
Now, as we get to the end of the pitch, they introduce a sense of urgency, stating very clearly that spaces are filling fast. Make a decision quickly.
And that urgency leads right into this final, very direct question, aimed squarely at the potential volunteer. Ready to answer the call? It's a clever move that transforms all this information from just a description into a personal challenge. And this brings the whole pitch full circle. For anyone who's been persuaded, the next step is made incredibly simple. Just go to the website and click here to register. The journey is complete. It starts with an emotional appeal, moves to a logical breakdown of the work and the rewards, and ends with a crystal clear path to signing up. It really leaves you with a final thought. When a mission is combined so explicitly with a vacation, how does that framing shape the experience for everyone involved, both the volunteers and the community they're there to serve?